Picture this. Or don't, I can't tell you what to do. But do picture this. I'm sorry that was so bad. I still feel awkward because there is nothing in my hand. So today we're gonna pretend that this lip gloss tube is a mic. And we're going to keep doing these until I figure out how to use this goddamn mic from my phone. I promise from the next video you're going to see an actual mic. But until then, I'm just gonna have to hypnotize you. This is a mic. It is a mic.
Welcome to my channel.
So today we're going to talk about a movie called Picture This. It came out in 2025, March 6th. So it was actually yesterday and I'm already making a video on it.
Is it the things that I get for putting you bitches on? Is it my fault that all of you bitches gone?
So I knew I wanted to see this movie when I saw a trailer on a reel. Simone Ashley is in this movie and the main lead is Hero Tiffin from the movie After. I haven't seen After, I don't want to, but I was excited to see this movie because I did see Bridgerton. But then I saw this.
Excellent uterus.
Look, it's not all bad, but it's not the best either. It got like 5.8 on IMDb. And I found out after I saw this movie that it's actually a remake of another movie that came out in 2023 called Five Blind Dates. And even that movie had a rating of 5.1 on IMDb. So I don't know why it was remade. So our story starts Simone Ashley's character. She owns a photography studio called Ninth Mandela and her mom is calling her. Turns out she's supposed to meet her mom and her sister today and she's already very late. So her mom takes both sisters to a bank locker and she shows them these jewelries that she has been saving up for years throughout her life. That eventually she's going to divide among her daughters and gift them these jewelries on their wedding day or after their wedding. But the fact that her mom says that you can get these jewelries when you get married really offends Leah.
Well, son, you can take my jewelry because I don't want to be a part of this.
I will.
Hey. What?
Chill out, Pia.
And after having a minor spat about not wanting to marry, and her mother and sister is just like, oh my god, you just haven't found the right man yet. And I know like a lot of girls would probably kind of relate to this because, you know, everyone says that, hey, if you don't want to get married, it's your choice. Hey, if you want to get married, it's your choice. Hey, if you don't want to have kids, it's your choice. If you want to have kids, it's your choice. But when you like say out loud, I don't want to be married and I genuinely just want to be single for the rest of my life, everyone is like, I just want to say that it's okay. Whatever your views and opinions you have about marriage, it's totally fine. And even if in the future you change your opinion and you're like, hey, turns out I actually do want to get married, it's okay. However, this is obviously a rom-com. Because this is a rom-com, we already know that it's going to end up with her having someone as an endgame. And while having this little spat, she accidentally bumps the vault alarm.
I want to say you don't want to have kids.
I don't want to have kids. You love kids.
But they're currently not a part of the plan.
I don't think that was an accident. She definitely did that on purpose to get out of there. Look at her body language. She stuck her butt up. She definitely did that on purpose. And then we meet... What is his name? His name is Jay. No, that's Indian. I'm sorry. Jay. His name is Jay. And then we kind of find out that Simone's studio, the Ninth Mandela, is in debt and they're not really doing that well. She is definitely drowning, okay? Which kind of makes a little less sense because if you're kind of like drowning in debt and you really need the money, just take the passport photo and get money. Like I understand passion and you know, like she's passionate about portrait photography and she doesn't want to like just take passport photos, but girlie, you're in debt, okay? You need money. And they both get like really sad every time they're talking about the debt. But hey, there are customers who are there willing, just be like, hey, fine, I will take you passport photo, but please don't tell anyone that we're taking passport photos, okay? Because that's not what this is about. Whatever, you need the money is what I'm saying. Also, she's doing like portrait photography for free. In the beginning, we see her taking photography of girls, and when Jay asks her how much she charged for them, she's like, nothing.
How much are we making the Hackney Girlies?
Nothing, I've got to go buy.
Here, we can't afford charity.
Why nothing? Charge them. Girl, you are not even charging them for the passion. You're doing shit for free. Of course you're gonna drown in debt. Charge people money. And then she tells Jay that her mom has like so much jewelry she saved for her marriage, and she could just use that for money. And Jay is like, well, maybe we need to marry you off. Haha. And for a moment I thought this story was going to curve into like dating Dr. Dil. If you've read that, please comment down. I think it was so cute. But no, it doesn't. It doesn't do that, thank God. Now Jay took her out, and even he's like telling her to like, hey, what about the dating apps? And what about this? And what about that? God, everyone in this movie are trying so bad to just get her a husband. And here we find out that she actually has been in love before, and that was her first love from school called Charlie. And we find out why they broke up. They were so in love, but
He just turned out to be another suburban boy that wanted to stay in Welland and run the family business. And I, on the other hand, if you haven't already noticed, I'm a smoking hot diva.
Plumes of hotness.
And I had things I needed to do with my life, like go to uni. And then that led to irreconcilable differences. I did go and visit him that Christmas. And then he'd already hooked up with that stunning redhead called Lucy.
and they never heard from each other again. Until now. Because now Charlie is her sister's fiance's best man.
Right, PP, that's your family nickname.
Yeah. Say it in the real world and I'll fire you.
Can you fire me if you haven't paid me in 2 months?
She hasn't paid you because she never charges people money. She's doing shit for free. So she hasn't told her family that her studio is basically drowning, and she lies about how she's doing.
How is the 9th mandala?
It's going great. Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, sir. Print sales are going up. They're very high in demand.
And this part sort of kind of made me cringe really hard. I saw the original movie 5 Blind Dates, and it has again, it's a remake, so it's an exact same movie with different cultures. That's it. But in the original movie, it's not so cringy.
你的卵巢很健康，也是很强，第一次就会怀孕。
Like the astrologer in the original movie says the exact same thing, like her uterus is powerful and magnetic. But she doesn't say it so creepily.
Excellent uterus. Very strong energy. Magnetic quality.
This is very awkward. And now they are doing Pia's reading. So the astrologer basically says that one of the next 5 people she goes on the date with is going to be her soulmate. So her sister suggests that before her wedding date, they will all set her up on one blind date and she can choose one of those. Side note, I love her sari. So her sister kind of tries to set her up with a guy called Akshay.
Stay, try and enjoy.
So she finally talks to Charlie. She thinks that he has completely moved on. That bums her out. So she gets super drunk and trashes out. And this causes her to agreeing to the 5 dates idea.
Send.
But wait, hold on. Didn't she not want to get married and not want to have kids? I don't get it. She was so upset about her mom and her sister being like, oh, you will get married someday, right? And then she gets so hurt by thinking that Charlie might have moved on that she agrees to go on the 5 dates to find a match. I thought she didn't want to get married and that it wasn't in the plan. As I said, it's your choice if you want to be married or not want to be married, and it's okay to change your mind. If you think you don't want to be married but then later on you find someone and you're like, hey, I really do like this person and I do want to get married, it's okay to change your mind. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in the beginning, she was so hell-bent on saying that I don't want to get married. Listen, if you want to stay single, but stay single for the right reasons. That would mean that you are staying single out of heartbreak, not because you are fulfilled by yourself. You know, if there is someone who's like oh, I never want to get married, then most probably that person has decided that because he or she or they are happy with the way they are and they're happy by themselves and they don't need anyone to make them feel happy, and that's why they are content by not getting married, which is an amazing thing, it's great. But if you are deciding to stay single forever because, oh my god, people just break my heart, and then you keep craving someone's affection, then you're gonna end up breaking your heart even more, because down the road you're going to feel lonely and you're going to feel that emptiness in you because you're not actually happy by yourself. You're just staying single because you don't trust other people. So, as I said, if you want to stay single, stay single. If you want to be in a relationship, be in a relationship. But your priority should be happiness, right? If staying single makes you more happy than being in a relationship, then be single by all means. Don't let other people tell you that, hey, getting married is the thing and you shouldn't get married and you should have children. Don't let them tell you. But if being in a relationship makes you more happy than being single, I don't know, practice self-love first and then try to find love, okay? Either way, make yourself a priority, okay? Anyways, moving on, she does agree to go on those 5 dates, and this is her first date. So her dad has set her up with this guy, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, we're just gonna call him number 1, okay? Guy number 1. So this guy number 1 is sort of a spoiled, rich guy who is rude, and he doesn't believe in love, and he just thinks of marriage as a contract. And he tells her that he's ready to invest in her studio. Just in return, he wants her to be his trophy wife. But they won't actually have a relationship. They will just be legally married with a prenup. And in return, she will get all the money she asks for, all the freedom she asks for, and that's it. That's all her life will be. And I saw the original dude. There is a personality difference kind of between this character and this character. They're both like number 1 guys in the story. He is like literally shown as a complete spoiled rich man-child. Like that's like the vibe he gave.
House rules. Only I'm allowed to do number 2. Sorry, it's kind of a control issue thing. I'm working on it. So you're definitely not going to go for a number 2, yeah? Promise me?
Well, this guy is like the same. He also like thinks like marriage is only a contract. And the only difference between these two is like the charisma.
You'll accompany me to business meetings and quarterly visits to see my parents in China. And in return, I'll give you an allowance and the freedom to do with it what you will.
Never met someone that you wanted to settle down with?
I believe that there's more than one soulmate out there for everybody. Well, love fades. Investments are forever, and investments should be diversified.
I will give you all the money that you're looking for, and in return, all I want is for you to be my wife.
Huh?
Not like a proper wife, of course. We will be married legally, prenup, but no kissing, no touching, no hugging. I hate human contact, I'll be honest with you. And all I require from you is 3 events every 6 months. Just be on my arm as my pretty little thing. Okay? So do we have a deal?
Theoretically, it might be something that would work well for me.
But
Maybe there's more tradition in me than I thought.
disappointing. But if you still need a date to your sister's wedding, give me a call and I'll fly the private jet out.
No.
Pia, don't be silly. This is a no-brainer. Get the contract!
No, it's not happening.
Do you know who I am?
I'm editing right now, but I just felt like I didn't clarify this properly while I was filming the video. This is not me saying Chinese men versus Indian men, look at the difference. No. This is me asking the writers of Picture This, how can you remake something and then make it worse? The personality difference between both of them is astonishing. He's also a rich snob and he's also a rich snob. But you see the difference. You understand what I'm saying, right? I just find it weird that even in a movie that is supposed to sort of represent Indian culture, they still manage to make it look cringy. It's weird and it's not how Indian culture is, you know? What was that astrologer scene, bro? I still cannot get over it. Also, he seemed kind of familiar to me, and then I realized he's that one guy from the partner track, if you have seen that. It was a good series, but unfortunately it was cancelled. So Pia excuses herself and she goes to the bathroom, and is like a very fancy bathroom. And when she's trying to take the tissue, she realizes that it's like a very fancy tissue dispenser. And then this happens. Just press the button again. At least try. Okay. Why did you put the entire tissue into the toilet?
Beautiful bathroom. I've got to bounce, but this has been great.
Pia, did you poo in my toilet? How dare you, Pia? You know what? With that kind of attitude, you would never find love.
You could have just went outside and being like, hey, I'm sorry, that was too fancy for me. I did not understand how to stop that shit, and the entire tissue is outside actually. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry for the mess. That would have been so much less embarrassing than letting everyone think you shat the toilet and clogged it. So she clogged the toilet and literally runs out of there. Her second date is with Akshay that her mom set up. So the entire date they spend like kind of talking about each other, and he talks about her mom and he praises her mom a lot. So they're sitting and talking on a bench, and she brought brownies and strawberries which he eats and immediately gets an allergic reaction because there are peanuts in the brownies.
They're nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
And I don't really blame Pia for not asking if he has a peanut allergy, because most Asians don't really have that many food-related allergies.
Does anyone know what to do? What do I do, actually? The back. The back. Okay. What am I looking for? In the front. In the front. Ready? Your leg. In the neck. I don't want to. I don't think it's going.
Just stab him.
I'm not professional. And I'm not ready.
Pia, the man is about to die. Just stab him.
I don't know. Ah!
Have this sort of sweet moment, and then this happens.
Well, as someone that spends a lot of time with your mother, let me tell you that you're very similar. You're a beautiful, strong, independent woman, and... Lakshmi, wait.
You just said...
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You just said my mum's name.
So obviously Akshay is also cancelled. I mean, as a suitor, he's cancelled, obviously. So after having a major update on her mommy issues, Chadley reaches her photo studio.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I actually think I took her to Nando's once.
No, you didn't. Did you?
Oh my god, wow, they have so much chemistry. Don't get me wrong, they're both good actors individually. There are like very rare instances when two actors meet and they just immediately have great chemistry. But if you want to show the characters having chemistry with each other, you need to show a backstory at least. But anything that happens with these two, or anything that happened with these two in the past, is like shown and all verbal, and Charlie doesn't even have that much screen time in the entire movie. So most of the movie you don't even feel that these two have any chemistry. This is a rom-com.
That's a really good idea. There's a lot of people, so I figure the costs are going to add up, and I just wanted to say I'm very happy to cover the finances.
I mean, it's fine. We'll cover it ourselves.
Take the offer.
Zonal did write in her wedding Bible that we should do this together.
That's very generous of you. I think it's easier if I maybe do this on my own.
Take the offer.
I insist.
Well, she's kind of my sister, and I'm willing to commit sacrilege on the Holy Bible.
Take the offer.
I'll see you at the wedding.
I don't get it. Why are they making their main characters so dumb? I don't want to say dumb, but it is dumb. Dude, you are literally drowning in debt. You haven't even told your family that you need money. You refuse to let people take passport photos, which it's like a little extra money that you could have had. You don't even charge money for the work that you are passionate about and you are doing. And not only that, you have your best friend who is literally working for you that you have not paid in 2 months. Do you see what I'm saying? It's annoying and it's weird, and of course you're gonna drown in debt, and of course it's dumb. It's dumb. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Pia? And she even refuses Charlie's offer to cover the finances because why? Why? Anyways, the third date. He is a yoga teacher. And of course, he's a little bit weird because of course he is. But she still decides to give it a chance, you know? And things are going pretty well. He manages to make Pia kind of face her fears by making her walk on coal. And things are going pretty well. Pia decides that, okay, maybe this could turn into something, until this happens.
The Earth is flat, Pia. The science is incredibly clear on that.
So what about all of those photos from space?
Fake.
No spaces.
Fake, yes. It's a conspiracy that is spread by mainstream media and the government to keep us from the truth.
I see.
Yeah, he's a flat earther. Where did that come from? This took a turn so fast. Oh my god. So she decides to leave, and Charlie, being the gentleman that he is, agrees to drop her home. And here we get some form of more clarity about their past. So in the beginning of the movie, she said that
I did go and visit him that Christmas.
We were 18 and we promised to meet up after you graduated on your 21st birthday in Welling, remember?
I know, I remember, but we weren't really in touch anymore.
is that the same thing that happened? This timeline doesn't make sense. And she doesn't acknowledge him or ask him about that. And this dialogue where she said, I know, I remember, but we weren't really in touch anymore, makes it seem like she never went there. Is that not the same? What is going on?
All I know is we had a plan and I stuck to it and you never turned up.
Well, what about you? You never visited me the whole time I was at uni, did you?
So she didn't turn up. So what was that first dialogue about? And we move on to the next ceremony, Mehndi. And again, her mother and her sister are kind of like asking her about her dates and everything. But for some reason, she still gets very worked up and she grabs a drink and then she comes back and she makes kind of a scene.
At least I'm authentic and not living through some brown woman's Instagram. What? I didn't win. I lost a dad. He left and he never really came back. And whose fault is that?
Okay, what is that about now? We don't even know the background about why her parents got divorced. Maybe they just never got along, whatever. But it doesn't make sense because there's so much missing context. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Pia, okay? I feel like I'm coming off that way because I'm only complaining out of this. But it's just the storyline and the way these characters are written. I really feel like Simone Ashley did a really good job of playing this character. But this character is like a little weirdly written. I mean, if you watch this film, which you should, it's on Amazon Prime, go watch it. As I said, it's really not a bad movie. It's just some things in this movie just does not make sense to me. Anyway, moving on. I just wanted to say that I don't hate this completely, and I don't really completely hate this character. And I definitely do not hate or even dislike Simone Ashley. I actually like her. I mean, I've only seen her in Bridgerton and now this movie, and she's definitely a really good actor. Hate the character, not the actor, okay? She did a great job, and so did everyone else. Anyways, that's what I just needed to clear that up, okay? Moving on. She accidentally babbles that the studio is going to go bankrupt, which obviously her family did not know initially.
You are such a self-involved, difficult, spoiled prick.
I agree. She literally created a scene at her Mehndi, bro. And she gets kicked out from the wedding. Her family is trying to set her up with dates, and which I know that she's said that she doesn't want them to, but then she also agreed, right? Then they started setting her up on date. I mean, they were kind of emotional blackmailing her, but they didn't force her to meet them, you know? And on top of all of this happening, she gets an eviction notice. And then another guy shows up to the studio asking for passport photos.
We don't do passport photos.
Girl, you just got an eviction notice. Your entire studio is about to get thrown out of the building. Get the money. You need it. So she explains to the guy why she won't take the passport photos. And she gives a very nice speech, actually. It's a good speech. And there are these two girls in the studio. One of the girls starts live streaming her on Instagram. And now her fourth date is her best friend because she's feeling bad. He just wants to cheer her up. And honestly, that is so sweet. Oh my god, she went viral, an overnight sensation. Who would have seen that coming? Pia finally goes viral and she gets tons of customers, and the first thing she does is ditch all of them to go to the wedding. Seriously. But in the original movie, obviously the same thing happened, and when she went viral, by the way, she went viral like this.
All you care about is bubble tea, sugar and milk. Milk doesn't belong. It's
Yeah, she just had like an outburst. She did not give a beautiful speech. She had like a complete outburst and mental breakdown.
Great news is you're a meme. Definitely news and counting. All you care about is bubble tea and milk.
And that went viral and she got memed to that, and that's how she got viral. But when she did go viral, she actually like stayed and interacted with the customers and then went to the wedding. Let's just fast forward to a couple of scenes, okay? Her mom is finally dating Akshay. Who would have seen that coming? She makes up with her sister. Who would have seen that coming? They're at a after wedding party. Jay comes back and they're fully booked for the next 3 months, which congratulations. And then the Pandit G shows up. Ew.
Charlie, I'm sorry. I just got to say this. You know, I really thought for so long about the kind of life that I wanted to have, and that you're the one for me.
And she confesses to him, and then she asks him out on a date, and then he becomes her 5th date, which technically becomes true when the astrologer says that one of the 5 dates is going to be her soulmate. Oh my god, who would have seen that coming? Am I right? And that's it. After all of this, that her photo studio is finally gone viral, she's doing great, and then you get this like 2-3 second shot. Are you kidding me, ma'am? You were desperate and drowning in debt, but you still refused to take passport photos and then gave this beautiful speech about why you don't take passport photos and how photography is not just about taking passport photos, but the second you go viral and you're extremely busy with your portrait photos and the thing that you're actually passionate about, then you agree to take passport photos. Whatever, we're done. And that was Picture This. Final thoughts. It's an okay movie. If I wanted to recommend a rom-com to someone, I would not recommend this rom-com, but I know I complained a lot during this movie. It's not all bad, and it's not the best either. I just thought it could have been a little better. I did like the costumes, I did like the lehengas, I thought the wardrobe was very pretty, and I also liked the wedding scenes. Again, it could have been a little better. It fell flat, sort of, in the emotional aspect. When you watch a movie, you want to feel a little bit connected to the characters, but it fell really flat most of the time because there were no deep relationships. I know that there were like sad scenes and sad music playing in the background, but I could not feel any sort of thing for them. I'm sorry. Because they don't even spend that much time together in this entire movie. So what exactly is this movie about? Is this about the rom-com? Or is this about family? Or is this about a girl finding out and figuring out what she really wants from life? Or is this about her and her career and her photo studio? Or about her and her best friend? And it felt like they wanted it to be about all of it. They tried to cram every aspect into this movie, which ultimately it resulted into not being about anything, really. Look, if you wanna make a rom-com, focus more on the rom-com. Like, this was like a second chance rom-com. You could have showed more scenes from them in college, If this was about her career, you could have showed about her passion more instead of just giving a heartfelt speech at the end that shows why it means so much to her. So, while, yeah, it was sort of a fun movie to watch, it also wasn't. Simone did a great job and Hero tried to do a great job, but oh my god, poor guy wasn't even in enough scenes. So yeah, that's all I had to say. And if you like this video, like, share and subscribe, and definitely comment. Okay, bye.